news tonight. We'll start with a look at the top stories.
Brought to you by
How to get points. Just use MTN to make calls, send SMS, load airtime, buy bundles, or pay for MTN subscription services.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
Property worth millions lost in Kigungu landing site fire. Many left homeless. Police arrests key ADF suspect with Congolese registered AK-47 assault rifle. MTN Uganda starts trading on Uganda Securities Exchange. While Muganzirwaza group in the Masazaga Uganda competition witnesses.
Was brought to you by Everywhere you go, MTN.
It's the second edition of News Tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Micheal Jordan Lukomwa. Elizabeth Nakakoni, the lady herself, joins in for sign language. Police have recorded a number of assaultments from Twaha Seguja, a suspected ADF courier in the operations of the terror cell. Twaha was recruited in ADF ranks and went to DR Congo for military training and was given assignments by Medin Karubo, an alleged ADF collaborator who is wanted by security. As Ivan Kahwa reports, security is closely monitoring Uganda borders with DR Congo.
Uganda police and sister security agencies are closely monitoring the eastern border of Uganda with Congo to curtail any possible threat of ongoing military raids to eject the Allied Democratic Forces ADF from the Democratic Republic of Congo.
The other military operations inside the DRC, you'll be getting updates from the UPDF spokesperson.
In the latest development, another suspect linked to the operations of ADF, identified as Twaha Seguja, has been arrested.
Alias Kisembo Joseph, a 37-year-old male adult and resident of Nakwad, the village, Nakabugo Parish in Wakiso district,
who allegedly sneaked into the country with a Congolese registered AK-47 assault rifle and had hidden assortments at one of his shops in Wakiso.
We recovered a silver grenade bomb concealed in a laptop bag, 9 pairs of green gumboots, 5 Airtel lines and 2 Itel phones. We recovered 389 detonating rods, 3 suspected explosive boosters, 2 bags of ammonium nitrate. They had packed the ammonium nitrate in sugar sacks, in sacks of sugar, to maybe confuse some of us, and then 7 tins of chemical fluids that are used in bomb-making materials.
Mr. Seguja has been operating under the command of Medin Karubo, an ADF collaborator who features on security's most wanted list.
The suspect, Twaha Seguja, was the main courier. He was the main courier of the ADF network and was actively involved in the transporting of bomb-making materials and weapons amongst their operatives.
The operations to dismantle the Allied Democratic Forces infrastructure continue to ensure that terror threats are eliminated. Today marks 20 days since deadly attacks were carried at Kampala Central Police Station and Parliamentary Avenue, respectively. In other news, police have cautioned scrap dealers against improper use of gas, encouraging them to have licenses and good ventilation, or else risk their items being tagged unfeasible. Ivan Kahwa, UBC News in Kampala.
President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has said that government recognizes the role played by the church in shaping the morals of the Ugandan society, as well as being partners with government in development. The president also said that religious institutions have supplemented government efforts in raising people's living standards through provision of literacy and skills through religious-founded schools, vocational institutions and universities, and promotion of good health through church-founded hospitals and clinics. This was contained in a speech read for him by Vice President, Major Retired Jessica Alupo, at the consecration of Reverend Canon John Wilson Nanda, who is the new Bishop of Mbale Diocese in Mbale City yesterday.
The Constitution and the canons of the Church of Uganda, we hereby declare to you that Reverend Canon John Wilson Nanda, who has just been enthroned, has been enthroned this 5th day of December in the year of our Lord 2021. Amen.
Vice President Major retired Jessica Alupo, who represented President Yoweri Museveni at the consecration and enthronement of Reverend Canon John Nanda as the 8th Bishop of Mbale Diocese at St. Andrew's Cathedral in Mbale City, urged the Church not to limit itself to evangelism teaching and discipleship, adding that to fulfill the Word of God, the Church must mobilize communities and make them active participants in programs that help them solve common problems that affect their well-being. This, she said, will make them agents of positive change in our societies.
Every family must wake up and join commercial agriculture. A campaign aimed at transforming agriculture from subsistence to commercial profit-oriented agriculture. The church leadership, in collaboration with government representatives and members of parliament, can help the nation to make these programs and initiatives to become a practical reality. As I conclude, I encourage you to uphold the faith. Everything that prevents a man from living in dignity and decency must be under attack from the church and its workers and followers. Let us embrace modernity as guided by religious institutions and government. By doing this, it demonstrates your dedication to lead the society following the foundation of Christ's gospel. Government will continue to work for maintenance of peace and security in the whole country and also put the necessary infrastructure in place as a way of facilitating the country's development. I call upon the people of Mbale Diocese to receive and support your new bishop wholeheartedly. Continue to have good relationship with the religious institutions around you. Concentrate on unity, peace, and development for all the people of God. I wish you God's blessings and a joyous celebration. I thank you.
The Vice President later delivered a car that was donated to the new Mbale Diocese Bishop by President Yoweri Museveni amidst the jubilations among the faithful. Married to Harriet Jacqueline Kaisa, now Mama Harriet Nanda, and a last-born in the family of 8 children from Bamwambu clan in Bufura village, Bukurukuru Parish, Bukiende Sub-County, Bungoko County of Mbale District, Bishop John Wilson Nanda had his spiritual calling in 1992, where he had to leave teaching profession for church ministry. Etole Ed Akenjo, reporting for UBC News at St. Andrew's Cathedral in Mbale City.
Etole Eddie Akenjo was there on our behalf at the event. As pursuit of the Allied Democratic Forces ADF ground offensive goes on in the thick forest of the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, the UPDF is gaining more advantage after air and artillery strikes last Tuesday. Major Mugisha Peter, the spokesperson of the joint operation, has confirmed to UBC TV that the UPDF in the operation have gathered more intelligence report on the ADF remnants.
Last week, Uganda People's Defense Forces UPDF and Democratic Republic of Congo forces launched a joint operation codenamed Mityana against the Allied Democratic Forces ADF the offensive was intended to drive the Allied Democratic Forces militants out of their bases in eastern Congo. Military sources confirmed that part of the thick forest where the UPDF and Democratic Republic of Congo Army have mounted a ground battle pursuit harbors ADF hideouts.
Well, the current operation is that we are still continuing on with launching the ground forces to those suspected areas where these ADF rebels were encamping. And we are only getting intelligence reports, and then we see to it how we can engage those areas, while we are also looking at our engineering components to see how we can increase on the mobility.
The ground battle followed Wednesday's search and control of ADF bombed bases by the joint military troops of the UPDF and Congo Army. Major Peter Mugisha, the spokesperson of the joint operation, said they resorted to military intelligence to track down ADF elements that are entrenched in the dense forest of the eastern Congo.
How effective the operation now?
The operation is ongoing. What I can tell you is that operation is not just an event.
The operation's focus is on weakening identified ADF camps in Yayua, Tondoli, Ben 1 and Ben 2, and create a conducive environment for citizens of the two countries. Haruna Mtesasila, UBC News.
The newly appointed Grade 1 magistrates have been advised to embrace time management as they take on their respective roles. According to Chief Justice Alfonso Winyidolo, this is one of the reasons which at times hinders quick delivery of justice to Ugandans. Justice Winyidolo communicated this at the induction conference of 91 newly appointed Grade 1 magistrates who are undergoing training in various topics in line with their judicial work. In attendance was the Permanent Secretary to the Judiciary, Pius Bijirimana, Chief Registrar, Sarah Lenga. Principal Judge Flavian Zeija was represented by Justice Musa Sekana. The one-week induction conference is taking place at Micheal Hotel in Kampala.
So the reason we are going out and we have sworn you in this big number, we are deploying in this number, is the people of Uganda must have access to justice. The true access to justice does not lie in the physical presence of the court or the presence of the judicial officer. The judicial officer in a place might actually be a log in the eye of the judiciary, a pain in the neck of the population. So despite the fact that we have a court where I can walk only 3 kilometers and I'm in court, there is no access to justice. Because the access to justice is how you perform. So it is all on you. Lift it up or bring it down. But if you bring it down with you, because we will dispense of you immediately. If you listen to this and many, many other things you're going to be told today and thereafter, you'll be a successful judicial officer. You'll paint the name of the judiciary with glory, and our people from whom we derive our judicial power will be happy with all of us.
That is Chief Justice Alfonso Winyidolo communicating to the 91 new Grade 1 magistrates. Meanwhile, Buganda Kingdom, Church of Uganda and different mourners have appreciated the work done by the Namasole of Buganda, Margaret Siwoza, before her demise last week. During the funeral services held at Namirembe Cathedral, the Katikiro of Uganda, Charles Peter Maiga, has said that the kingdom has already selected the heir to the Namasole.
Last Wednesday, Buganda woke up to sad news of the demise of Buganda's Namasole, Margaret Nagawa Siwoza. Monday morning, towards 10 a.m., the body arrived at Namirembe Cathedral for a funeral service. The Archbishop of the Anglican Church, Dr. Stephen Kazimba Mugalu, while addressing mourners, said the late has been serving her God wholeheartedly.
Yokaana 14:13 yaga balina omukisa afaafira Mukama waffe. Maama Namasole ono tubadde nnyo naye mu bigambo by'okuweereza Mukama.
During the funeral service, the Katikkiro of Buganda, Charles Peter Mayiga, disclosed that the heir to the deceased has been identified and is yet to be announced.
Kyokka wenjogerera Obuganda bwamaze dda okufuna Namasole wabula olw'okuba wakyaliwo emikolo egitambuzibwa ajja kulangirirwa mu budde obutuufu nga n'emikolo gyonna gikomekerezeddwa.
Preaching to the mourners, the Bishop of West Buganda Diocese, Henry Katumba Tamali, appealed to believers not to be taken by earthly riches, but work for heaven.
Oba mulabirizi, oba government, oba ani, amaaso gaffe tugatunuulize Katonda. That's the formula. Ebirala byonna bijja goberera ekisooka Katonda.
Anthony Nachibinge, on behalf of the late children, said they will miss their mommy's sympathy.
Tweyama okukigoberera. Tusaba mutusabire okweyama okwo tukutuukirize.
In attendance were the Nabagerika, Sylvia Najinda, State Minister for ICT in Central Government, Joyce Nabosa, Prince David Wasaja, and NUP President Robert Chagulanyi, among others. Jane Ngiramcha, Andrew Sebira, UBC News.
A section of Ugandan members of parliament has welcomed the idea of making the COVID-19 vaccination certificate an international travel requirement. This comes barely weeks after government through the Ministry of Health promised to come up with a bill to make COVID-19 vaccination mandatory. The MPs say this will encourage international travelers to embrace the COVID-19 vaccination exercise.
Our health workers.
Shortly after taking his first COVID-19 jab in March 2021, Uganda's Prime Minister then, Dr. Ruhakana Rugunda, expressed no surprise in future if this happened.
It will not surprise me if it becomes a requirement almost globally. Yeah. But in Europe, it is already a major issue.
Less than a year later, Uganda's sovereign neighbor, the Republic of Kenya, has taken the first move. All foreign travelers to this nation will be required to possess a COVID-19 vaccination certificate to access East Africa's leading economy.
Wale wako Ulaya, hata wazungu, wakitaka kuja Kenya hii yetu, kwa sababu hao wanatulazimisha sisi tuchanjwe twende kwao. Hata hao kutoka kwao ni lazima wachanjwe ndio waje hapa.
Ugandan members of parliament have welcomed the move.
I believe that if we stop people from traveling, from going to some shops, from going to accessing amenities, then somebody will have no choice.
Because you are going from nation to nation, you become prone to that disease, but also you become an agent to those who can be infected.
In her recent statement to Parliament, Health Minister Jane Ruth Acheng detailed Uganda's preparedness to overcome the new Omicron variant. She hinted on an upcoming bill to make COVID-19 vaccination mandatory, something which some government leaders welcomed.
Next week, I will be laying on table the Public Health Act that will cater for a number of issues you raised, including mandatory vaccination.
Because refusing to be vaccinated is like committing suicide, and therefore we should prevent you from committing suicide.
Members of Parliament have expressed divergent views over this.
I don't think we have reached there. What we need to do is to employ, to deploy, to bring on board those key opinion leaders to help us in the campaign for COVID vaccination.
You can choose to be vaccinated or not, but you're not being given a choice to go and infect other people by making sure you have the certificate.
The COVID-19 vaccination exercise has been embraced by many, including Uganda's head of state, among other national and international leaders. With Kenya already restricting foreign travelers from accessing without COVID-19 vaccination certificates, members of parliament want Uganda to toe the same line. Henry Okrut, UBC.
Steel's company has donated over 100 beds to Kayunga Hospital. While officiating at the function, Deputy Prime Minister Rukia Nakadama said that the need for the beds in government health facilities is big. She appreciated the gesture.
Over 600 patients visit Kayunga Hospital on a daily. However, the health facility has a challenge of inadequate beds since it cannot accommodate more than 100 patients.
Some from Cairo. All those people are coming to Kayunga district. So you
Tembo Steel Company has now come in to close this gap and has donated over 100 more beds to be used in hospitals of Kayunga and Mayuge districts.
Distributed the free oxygen to not only the government hospital but all the private hospital of Kayunga and also of Jinja also.
The third Deputy Prime Minister, also woman MP for Mayuge District, Rukia Nakadama, appreciated Tembo Steels for giving back to the community.
Giving us the beds, hospital beds, and it is a program that has been done before. They gave to Rugazi, now they've given Mayuge, they are giving Kayunga, and I think they'll continue giving more other.
Nakadama has also called on steel companies to always consider safety of employees, and once exposed to danger, they must be compensated.
As they work for us, as they do that work, which is not so easy, please provide them with protective gears so that it can help them to ease their work.
She was also taken through a guided tour of the factory.
Minister for Information, Communication Technology and National Guidance, Dr. Chris Baryomunsi, has warned the public against counterfeits. The minister says that government, through Uganda National Bureau of Standards, continues to monitor and ensure quality standards are adhered to through a sustained campaign against counterfeits. He was touring a beverage producing factory in Busukuma, Wakiso district.
Counterfeiting of products is a big challenge among manufacturers as it lowers the quality and integrity of the goods.
The Kayunga drink, it is therefore criminal and against the law for anybody to duplicate and counterfeit another drink and then you call it Kayunga. So we want to sound a warning. We want to sound a warning to those who counterfeit products, that once you are caught, you will be arrested and tried in the courts of law.
The Minister for Information, Communication, Technology and National Guidance, Dr. Chris Baryomunsi, says government will continue to ensure that investors are protected against fraudsters.
We support investors, both foreign and also our own local investors. And Kayunga KDB company is a local investor, and that's why we come to support the activities as government.
He was officiating an event by KDB Kayunga Tonto at their brewery head office in Busukuma, Wakiso district. The Chief Executive Officer KDB Kayunga, Joseph Balikudembe, committed himself to ensuring quality of the beverage to the delight of customers. At the same event, Kyalenga awarded 3 tricycles, television sets and other goodies to employees and product dealers. The Malamu Kyalenga competition attracted participants from across the country.
Malamu promotion. Ate bano bamukisa.
Fire gutted Kigungu landing site in Entebbe, destroying houses and leaving many homeless. Minister of State for Fisheries Helen Adoa has promised government support to the affected people at the landing site. She revealed that the Prime Minister of Uganda, Honorable Rebina Nabanja, is set to visit the victims.
Fire that gutted Kigungu landing site in Entebbe Wakiso district started at around 6 p.m. Sunday evening from unidentified source, destroying property worth millions of shillings and leaving over 500 people homeless. A big number of fishermen and business people who were affected by the fire were stranded and confused. However, some of them were trying to collect scrap for sale. Chigundu Alex, one of the most affected fishermen, says he received the bad news when he had gone for fishing, but now he does not know what to do after losing his property worth millions of shillings.
Nafiridwa enyumba, nafiridwa injini, bibalirwamu obukadde nga 13.
Their clothes, their beddings, their businesses, engines and all fishing gears have been consumed by this fire. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here to request humbly for any support that can be rendered to these people.
Eyewitnesses told UBC TV that the cause of the fire has not yet been established. Locals here blame the municipal authorities for not minding about fishermen, especially when it comes to proper planning of the landing sites.
Enkubo tezimala nti omuliro bwe guba gukutte wali musobola okujjawo enenju ne gutakwata ndala. According
upon government and the Prime Minister, Right Honorable Nabanja, and the Minister for Disaster Preparedness, this is the time to give Entebbe a helping hand, as we've been doing in other parts of the country.
However, State Minister for Fisheries Helen Adoa asked the angry fishermen to remain calm as the government promised to give them relief items, including temporary shelters and food.
I got information last evening that big landing site got burnt and the people slept out, the children, the mothers, and all these fishermen are out with no food, with no support of any kind. She has promised me that by tomorrow she will visit the area and give any little assistance that can be readily found.
Recently, the same landing site had been closed by the Fisheries Protection Unit of the UPDF for alleged involvement of the fishermen in the death of a soldier belonging to the unit.
State Minister for Youth and Children Affairs, Sarah Mateke, has urged the youth to engage more in creating innovations and business opportunities rather than seeking for jobs. The minister was gracing the 5th graduation ceremony of Malaika Vocational and Business Institute, where 180 students graduated in diploma and certificate courses.
Malaika Vocational and Business Institute has held its 5th graduation ceremony at Humasho Grounds, Lugogo. The ceremony was graced by the State Minister for Youth and Children Affairs, Sarah Mateke, who urged the graduates to live a purposeful life by always creating business opportunities.
Many more employment opportunities in this sector of vocational as a career path than the white-collar jobs, as we are accustomed to it. However, we have to be willing to overcome the mental barriers in the form of attitude on how to get rich very quickly.
In her speech, the minister highlighted how government is committed to supporting the private sector, especially vocational schools that engage in skilling learners.
Technical, vocational and education training policy that has enabled government to invest more in the skills development of our young people through the private sector informed system within which this institute falls.
The director, Malaika Vocational and Business Institute, Namasole, urged the graduates to improvise the skills acquired.
It has changed. The future belongs to the people that we call artisans, people that have their skills on them. They are a moving engine of success, and this is what we do for a living.
The Executive Director, Private Sector Foundation Uganda, Stephen Asimwe, says there is need for stakeholders to provide more opportunities that will add value to the learners.
PSFU is going to be at the forefront of marketing and ensuring that we publicize the opportunities that are going to come, but more importantly, to ensure that as many as possible get skills, in practical skills, entrepreneurial skills, and we are also going to look for money to be able to capitalize their business. And we are working out with government and many other donors and institutions to ensure that we give support to the young people.
Students expressed excitement over their achievements. Lydia Chomkama, UBC News.
Water shortage in Nipa villages of Kayunga district has left residents in dilemma, forcing them to resort to unprotected sources of water which they sometimes share with animals. They're now crying out to government for immediate intervention.
Number of empty jerrycans have been lined up at this water drawing point, which residents were forced to dig in search for water. Kasota village in Busana sub-county is one of the areas in Kayunga district hard hit by water shortage. All the nearby water wells dried up and the 3 boreholes they had in the area are no longer functional. Left with no option, they were forced to dig up this well in front of the mosque in Kasota town, where the old, young and youth lined up for water. However, only the energetic can manage to fetch this water because of the deep well. These were some of the challenges they presented to contestants for the Kayunga district by-elections who were searching for votes. The NRM candidate Andrew Muwonge Mande conducted his campaigns in Busana sub-county. NUP's candidate Harriet Nakwede was in Bale constituency in company of the area Member of Parliament Tebande K. Charles, with whom they preached peaceful campaigns. Kayunga electorate will, on 16th of this month, go to the polls to elect their LC5 chairperson in accordance with the Electoral Commission roadmap. I'm Nafka Farida and Robert Katamba in Kayunga.
Here comes a very short break. Let's have it. Do not go anywhere.
Everyone deserves more this festive season, which is why MTN Momo is giving you more thank you points on your MTN Momo withdrawals at agent locations. Get 150 thank you points for every 1,000 shillings spent in withdrawal fees. More thank you points means you get more free minutes, more free MBs, more free SMSs, and more free Momo Pay shopping. To use your thank you points, dial *141#.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
It's the festive season and we love it. And that means it's time to celebrate with GoTV.
Come with me.
So get your GoCoder and GoTV value for 25,000 shillings to watch with the whole family. And if you're feeling extra festive, upgrade to our best package yet, GoTV Super.
Something to look forward to.
Download the My GoTV app for more information.
Super.
We all deserve a super festive season. And with GoTV, there's every reason to love it.
Raising voices.
As a teacher, I have the opportunity to shape how children grow and learn. I believe in creating a non-violent school where children feel safe and respected. I promise to lead by example and create a different kind of relationship with my learners, one that helps them grow.
In this time of COVID, what is your promise to the children of Uganda? Because a violence-free childhood is everyone's right. Raising voices.
I'm growing up, I'm growing into every moment.
Thanks,
Mom.
Nurture the moment with Minute Maid Delight, now available in apple flavor in the 400ml ready-to-drink pack.
Everyone deserves more this festive season, which is why MTN Momo is giving you more thank you points on your MTN Momo withdrawals at agent locations. Get 150 thank you points for every 1,000 shillings spent in withdrawal fees. More thank you points means you get more free minutes, more free MBs, more free SMSs, and more free Momo Pay shopping. To use your thank you points, dial *141#.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
UBC News Tonight. We'll come back from the break. Police in Arua has detained 5 suspects in relation to the lost ambulance at Arua Regional Referral Hospital. Arua District Police Commander, Superintendent of Police Jude Nasucha, says that 3 of the 5 suspects are staff of the hospital.
Police investigations in the lost Arua Regional Referral Hospital ambulance saw 5 key suspects arrested last weekend. The 5, whose names were not disclosed by police, are said to have directly been involved in the loss of the ambulance, and middlemen were used in its alleged sale. The suspects include the driver who drove it from the hospital premises.
The people who have arrested are directly involved in the theft of this ambulance. We have arrested the person who drove it out from the hospital. We have arrested the person who duplicated the key and coordinated the theft of the ambulance. We have arrested the askari who was in the know and then opened the gate even for the ambulance to go. We have arrested the external forces that were middlemen in the sale of this ambulance. So it's a plus that we have all these suspects. We are continuing now on efforts to have the ambulance recovered.
Nasucha said that the suspects will be produced before court very soon.
3 of them are actually staff of the hospital who connived with some other external forces to steal this ambulance. They are going to be prosecuted. They are going to be arraigned in court for the theft of the ambulance. That's the judicial notice.
The ambulance registration number UG 6812M, worth 300 million Ugandan shillings, given recently to the hospital by Ministry of Health, was stolen from Arua Hospital on the night of March 27th this year and suspected to have been driven to the Democratic Republic of Congo. I'm Nafka Farida and Joseph Odama.
17 reverends and 1 deacon were ordained at St. Andrew Anglican Cathedral, Namukozi in Mityana municipality. The function was presided over by the Anglican Bishop of Mityana Diocese, James Bukomeko.
The COVID-19 pandemic has affected the country socially and economically. It is against this backdrop that religious leaders and the Church of Uganda have been encouraged to preach the word of God by emphasizing poverty alleviation. The Bishop of Mityana Anglican Diocese, James Bukomeko, says religious leaders should stop engaging only in preaching the word, but also use it to spur economic development in order to cushion consequences of COVID-19 pandemic. Bishop Bukomeko was presiding over ordination ceremony of 17 reverends and 1 deacon held at St. Andrew Namukozi Cathedral in Mityana municipality.
Unless we become faithful, that's when we shall have a good Uganda, because everything will be done in the right way. So that's what we have encouraged our people we are sending out to preach the gospel, to preach to their congregation.
He appealed to the ordained to be transparent when serving the church, cautioning them against engaging in corruption tendencies and habits against the Church of Uganda, morals and principles, especially homosexuality. Those present were requested to celebrate this Christmas by shunning domestic violence and guarding against premature marriages of their daughters. UBC TV also interacted with some of the ordained clergy.
The molder of what is to be done, I have to keep a keen ear to what you command me to do. And under his will and provision and protection and guidance, I have really totally surrendered to him to do what you command me to do for his sheep, to teach it.
I'm Navka Farida and Salam.
It's the festive season and we love it. And that means it's time to celebrate with GoTV.
Come with me.
So get your GoCoder and GoTV value for 25,000 shillings to watch with the whole family. And if you're feeling extra festive, upgrade to our best package yet, GoTV Super.
Something to look forward to.
Download the My GoTV app for more information.
Super.
We all deserve a super festive season. And with GoTV, there's every reason to love it.
Transact and win money after money with Airtel Money. 1.5 billion shillings in cash prizes up for grabs.
Mariam, in your Lantoro, Tabedo Jinja, Tadio Star 185, Tachulo Rigo TV for a month. After 2 days, your Airtel Jobinojo Goran Simus and now winning 100,000.
The more you transact, the higher your chances of winning. Airtel Money, instant, secure, borderless.
Ooh. Bloop. The thing goes twink, twink, twink. Woo. Pop, 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 pop. Whoosh, whoosh.
Grab an ice-cold bottle of Pepsi Max today and drink to your bold lifestyle. Enjoy maximum taste with no sugar. Now available at a shop near you. Maximum taste, no sugar.
Welcome back from the break. It's UBC Business News now. A team from the Inspectorate of Government, led by Deputy IGG Anne Muheire Trino Mujesha, together with head of the Inspectorate for Kigezi Region, Sam Agaba, have made an impromptu visit to Kamchira Health Center 4 in Kabale Municipality. However, the team was shocked to find the facility dirty and closed for business, with the officer in charge absent from duty. We apologize for that story. We'll have it later on. MTN Uganda in business news has been listed on Uganda Security Exchange market after fulfilling requirements. The development follows 6 weeks of share trading of the telecom company to the public through initial public offer IPO. Minister for ICT and National Guidance, Chris Wariomunsi, who was chief guest, appealed to the multinationals to operate as per the demands of the national broadband policy.
At least 21,000 Ugandans have invested in the MTN initial public offer, with a total of 535 billion Ugandan shillings. This has qualified the telecom company to be listed on the country's securities exchange.
Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
The Minister for ICT and National Guidance, Chris Wariomunsi, officiated at the event, which was a fulfillment of the country's broadband policy.
The rationale behind this is to diversify the ownership of the telecommunications companies active in our market.
To ease market entry and enhance competition, intensify the rollout of broadband internet across the country.
Minister Wariomunsi urged the telecom companies to work with the government to reduce on internet prices for economic transformation.
I want to appeal to MTN and the other telecom service providers to look into the quality of the services, to look into the cost of data, and support us in reducing the cost of internet in this country, because it's an outcry in the country, especially in the wake of COVID-19, and a challenge to ensure connectivity and access to these services.
6 weeks ago, MTN Uganda declared intentions to sell 20% of its shares to the public as the initial public offer. However, the company has registered a short target by close of exercise.
Investment of today that will guarantee the future of the revenue, the future of the top line and the bottom line.
And the highest standards of corporate governance, and to always deliver and sustain value for you, our shareholders, now and into the future.
The MTN initial public offer has boosted the Uganda Securities Exchange with 74,000 securities central depository accounts. This has increased the liquidity of the market from 4 trillion shillings to 80 trillion shillings.
Shows the value and understanding of the market, but also the interest of having a new asset class in terms of investments.
Businesses, please come to the stock exchange, raise money, because as you've seen, MTN has done it, so can you. I'm sure you can all take advantage of what's available in the market.
The sale of these shares to the public reduces ownership of MTN Group in MTN Uganda from 96% to 83%. This is one of the conditions of the national broadband policy. Namasole Lukomwa, UBC News.
With just days to Christmas, many people, especially those who reside within the city centre, have expressed concern over high transport costs. Some passengers say high transport fares have made it difficult for them to travel up country with their loved ones for the festive season celebrations.
Unlike previous years where people will travel up country in big numbers to celebrate festive season with their families, this time round the situation is different.
The challenge is the transport has increased. The main challenge is that's the transport. Jumani used to be 50, but right now we are paying 65.
Passengers that we managed to talk to attest that whereas they would wish to travel with their entire families up country, the transport fares are extremely exorbitant.
We remain here because if you have a family here, you want to go and, you know, we Africans, we are good, enjoying with the extended families, and but now you feel you need to go with your children and enjoy with they have to enjoy with their grandmoms, granddads, and also you need to enjoy with the brothers and maybe people around, but now it becomes very expensive.
Majid Yusuf, a Crown Bus manager, says decline in travel is due to the continued closure of schools, saying students returning home are their biggest customers during this time.
Like situations like December before Corona, by now it will be busy, even buses will be full 3 weeks earlier because students will close, most of schools will close around December. You find people are traveling, students are traveling to Kenya, Tanzania, Sudan, and up countries, but due to Corona, schools have been closed, so there's no much jam. So the passenger flow is just as normal. People are not traveling much because most of people are in their village, in their villages, in their up countries. Others in Kenya, Kenyan students used to study here, they're still in their country.
Bus conductors told UBC TV that business is currently slow, with limited buses leaving at different bus terminals.
Abantu bavu nye chitiridde kanchogere bavu loza msawe zino wali badola bano na muketanga ne bus tewali nazo nazizo yingiramu yange iri crown temuli bantu.
The rate of the people moving nowadays has dropped around, if you can see, around 55%. People are moving like they have not been moving before. I think maybe one, because of the fare. People, they don't have money because of COVID. People are not doing business well. Business are not moving. So that's why it contributed on the what? On the low turnout of passengers.
Sada Mubale, UBC News, Kampala.
In the world of sport, the 2021 Masazaga Uganda football tournament has seen another match day at the FUFA Technical Center in Jeru. This match day from the Muganzirwaza group was a double-header opened by Busuju and Mawogola counties in a 1-1 stalemate before Butambala edged Buwekula 1-0. As it stands in this group ahead of the final day on Wednesday, Buwekula and Budu are level atop on 7 points. Butambala is on 5, while already ejected Mawogola and Busuju have 2 and 1 points respectively. The final fixtures in the groups are due on Wednesday, with Budu playing Mawogola and Butambala facing Busuju in a game Mawogola's 6th victory and a good goal count to stand any qualification chances. The 2021 Masazaga Uganda, like last year, is played in a bubble at the FUFA Technical Center due to COVID-19. Each of the 4 groups enter the bubble at a set time, with Masengere that climaxed with Burundi and Singo through to the quarterfinals. The first there, while this Muganzirwaza will be followed by Bulange, then Butikiro.
Samba byoyagala kalazi tuteka kalazi kwa muwe. Genda.
UBC News Tonight, that brings us to the end of what we had for you this evening. We'll have a reminder of the top stories as we close.
Brought to you by
How to get points. Just use MTN to make calls, send SMS, load airtime, buy bundles, or pay for MTN subscription services.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
Property worth millions was lost in Kigungu landslide, fire, and many homeless. Police has arrested key ADF suspect with Congolese registered AK-47. MTN Uganda has started trading on Uganda Security Exchange. While Muganzirwaza group in Masazaga Uganda competition witnesses penultimate match day.
Was brought to you by Everywhere you go, MTN.
With that, we come to the end of all we had for you this evening. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Micheal Jordan Lukomwa with Elizabeth Nakakoni. We start the trend of wishing you a Merry Christmas because the mood has started to be felt. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Bye-bye. As we leave for you, we leave you with Molen Kenyana, who has the weather forecast. Bye-bye. Merry Christmas.
Very good evening to you, and thank you very much for keeping it to UBC. My name is Molen Kenyana. It is time now to look at our weather report for tonight, and we'll start it off with our 24-hour report. We did have some heavy rains across the western parts of Lake Victoria, and Masaka was reporting a total of 34.9 millimeters. We also had a total of 15.3 that was across Mbara and Kasese was reporting 4.7 millimeters. Now, looking at our satellite, we've seen that we still have those reduced wet weather conditions across the northern half of our continent, basically because of the high pressure systems within the northern part of the continent. Now, at the same time, we've seen that the rain belt has moved a little bit south, and that is also attributed to the low pressure systems that are building up south of Africa. Because of that, we're still having rains, especially across the southern sector, as well as parts of the Lake Victoria Basin. However, tomorrow in the morning, we're likely to start off with rains again, mostly in form of light rains. Those will be across the Lake Victoria Basin, as well as parts of southwestern Uganda and a little bit to central. Otherwise, the rest of us will wake up to a blend of sunshine with clouds. Now, later in the afternoon is when we expect more rains. We shall see mostly scattered showers. Those will be across the Lake Victoria Basin, moving all the way through central as well as midwestern and southwestern Uganda. But the northern part of the country will remain with sunny intervals, and that is same for the Karamoja region as well as eastern Uganda. Now, looking at our daytime highs, we're expecting a maximum of 28. That will be across the nation's capital, Kampala. Jinja will be at 29. Now, we have 30 across eastern Uganda, and forecasting a warm day across the Karamoja region as well as northern Uganda. That is at 32 degrees centigrade, and it is likely to be a cold day for Kabale Highlands, looking at a maximum of 23 degrees. Now, some of the world cities that we have for you, we're forecasting rain conditions across Nairobi, temperatures rising up to 26. We also have a sunny day again across Dubai, and it seems like we still have that snow across Moscow. We're forecasting rainy conditions for Paris and London, and still cold weather over there. Now, with that, we come to you tonight's weather report. My name is Micheal Kayunga. I want to wish you a good night.
Join us from Monday to Friday for Good Morning Uganda with me, Felix Mkunda.
Priscilla Nalo.